Hello and welcome, dear viewers. Today we delve into the fascinating world of neurodiversity. We'll be exploring the differences and similarities between various neurodevelopmental conditions, such as Asperger's syndrome, high-functioning autism, low-functioning autism, ADHD, and other names that feature in clinical diagnosis. It's important to remember that each person's experience with these conditions is as unique as they are. So with an open mind and heart, let's embark on this journey to understand and appreciate the myriad ways in which our brains function. So what exactly is neurodiversity? Well, neurodiversity is a concept that recognizes and celebrates the natural variations in the human brain. It's like biodiversity, but instead of different species in an ecosystem, we're talking about different ways of thinking, learning, and experiencing the world in the human population. Neurodiversity encompasses a range of conditions, including but not limited to Asperger's syndrome, autism, ADHD, and other neurodevelopmental differences. It's an umbrella term that helps us understand that these aren't defects but simply different ways of being. Just like we wouldn't say a rose is better than a tulip, we shouldn't view one type of brain as superior to another. Each has its own strengths and challenges. By embracing neurodiversity, we acknowledge that everyone's brain works differently. And that's not just okay, it's fantastic. Understanding neurodiversity is the first step to appreciating the beauty of our unique minds. Now, let's discuss Asperger's syndrome, a term you might have come across. Asperger's syndrome, named after Austrian pediatrician Hans Asperger, was once considered a standalone diagnosis. It's characterized by difficulties in social interaction and nonverbal communication, paired with restricted and repetitive patterns of behavior and interests. These traits might manifest in autistic teenagers and adults as an intense fixation on a specific topic or unusual speech patterns and mannerisms. However, the term Asperger's isn't widely used in the medical community today. In 2013, the American Psychiatric Association decided to fold Asperger's syndrome into a broader diagnosis: Autism Spectrum Disorder. This change was based on research suggesting that these conditions, along with others like childhood disintegrative disorder and pervasive developmental disorder, are actually just different expressions of the same underlying neurological condition. In essence, Asperger's is now understood as part of the autism spectrum, contributing to the rich tapestry of neurodiversity among teenagers and adults. Next on our list is high-functioning autism. Now, this term isn't an official medical diagnosis, but it's commonly used to describe autistic teenagers and adults on the spectrum who can speak, read, write, and handle basic life skills like eating and getting dressed. They might live independently and have a job. However, this doesn't mean they don't face challenges. They might struggle with understanding social cues or become overwhelmed by sensory stimuli, like loud noises or bright lights. They may have intense focus on specific interests. Now, how does this overlap or differ from Asperger's? Well, it's a bit of a gray area. Asperger's was once considered a separate condition, but it's now part of the autism spectrum. Some argue that high-functioning autism and Asperger's are the same, while others assert that there are subtle differences. Despite the challenges, autistic teenagers and adults with high-functioning autism lead fulfilling lives thanks to their unique strengths. Let's now shift our focus to low-functioning autism. This term is often used to describe teenagers and adults who face more significant challenges in their daily lives due to their autism. These challenges can manifest in various aspects, from communication and social interaction to repetitive behaviors and restricted interests. It's important to note that the term low-functioning is not an official medical term but is used to help differentiate the level of support required. Teenagers and adults with low-functioning autism may need extensive support, possibly even round-the-clock care. They may have limited verbal skills or may not speak it. However, it's essential to remember that this doesn't diminish their value as individuals. They have their unique ways of experiencing the world, and they can form deep, meaningful relationships with those around them. They may also possess exceptional skills in specific areas, such as art or music. Although teenagers and adults with low-functioning autism may require more support, They too contribute uniquely to our diverse world. Now let's talk about a condition often misunderstood, ADHD. Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder, or ADHD, is a neurodevelopmental condition that affects both children and adults. It's characterized by persistent patterns of inattention, impulsivity, and in some cases, hyperactivity. Imagine being in a room where every sound, movement, or visual cue grabs your attention, making it difficult to concentrate on one thing at a time. That is often the world of someone living with ADHD. Although ADHD shares some features with autism, such as difficulties in social interactions and restricted repetitive behaviors, they are distinct conditions. While autism is primarily a disorder of social interaction and communication, ADHD primarily affects attention and behavior. One common misconception about ADHD is that it's simply a result of poor parenting or lack of discipline. This couldn't be further from the truth. ADHD is a legitimate neurodevelopmental disorder with research indicating strong genetic influences. Another myth is that those with ADHD are just being lazy or not trying hard enough. However, those with ADHD often have to work twice as hard to accomplish the same tasks as their peers due to their difficulty in maintaining focus. It's essential to remember that ADHD, like autism, is a spectrum, with individuals experiencing a range of symptoms to varying degrees. People with ADHD bring unique perspectives and talents to our society, and recognizing and understanding their experiences is key to promoting inclusivity and acceptance. ADHD, like other neurodevelopmental conditions, adds unique perspectives and talents to our society. Let's now delve into the concept of the autism spectrum. It's a terminology that offers a broad perspective, encapsulating the varied experiences of autistic teenagers and adults. Picture a rainbow. Just as a rainbow flaunts numerous shades, the autism spectrum comprises a wide range of characteristics and abilities. On one of the spectrum, we encounter high-functioning autism, where individuals might have robust language skills and intellectual abilities, yet grapple with social interactions and repetitive behaviors. Asperger's syndrome, currently more widely known as high-functioning autism, also falls under this category. Autistic teenagers and adults in this bracket often boast unique talents and interests, but encounter similar hurdles in social situations. On the other end, we come across low-functioning autism. In this case, individuals may face substantial language delays, difficulties in social interaction, and may engage in repetitive behaviors. They often necessitate more assistance in their day-to-day lives. Bear in mind, these categories aren't inflexible compartments, but fluid points on a spectrum. The autism spectrum stands as a testament to the broad range of ways our brains can function. You might be wondering, how do these conditions overlap, and how are they different? Well, let's dive in. Neurodevelopmental conditions like Asperger's syndrome, high-functioning autism, low-functioning autism, and ADHD often share similar characteristics. These can include difficulties with social interaction, communication, and repetitive or restricted behaviors. However, the severity and presentation of these traits can vary significantly. For instance, an individual with Asperger's might have intense interests and struggle with social cues, while someone with high-functioning autism might face similar challenges but also experience sensory sensitivities. On the other hand, ADHD primarily affects attention and impulse control, but can also involve difficulties with social skills, overlapping with autism in this way. Yet, despite these overlaps, each condition is distinct. The way they manifest can greatly differ from one individual to another, influenced by factors like age, personal experiences, and co-occurring conditions. As we delve deeper into understanding neurodiversity, it's important to remember, despite overlaps, each condition and each individual presents in a unique way. But what does living with these conditions look like for autistic teenagers and adults? Well, it's as diverse as the individuals themselves. Each person's experience is unique, shaped by their own strengths, challenges, and the support they receive. Crucial part of living with neurodiversity is acceptance. Acceptance from oneself, from family, friends, and society at large. Accommodations play a significant role too. For autistic teenagers, And they can range from tailored education plans to workplace adjustments, all designed to help individuals thrive in their unique way. And let's not the power of support. Emotional, practical, and educational support can make a world of difference to autistic teenagers and adults. Imagine a world where we all understood neurodiversity better, a world where we appreciated the unique ways autistic teenagers and adults think, learn, and interact. It's a world where everyone's potential is recognized and nurtured, where differences aren't just tolerated but celebrated. That's the power of neurodiversity. Understanding and supporting our neurodiverse friends and family, especially autistic teenagers and adults, enriches all our lives. As we conclude, let's recap what we've absorbed today. We've navigated through the immense landscape of neurodiversity, delving into Asperger's syndrome, high and low functioning autism, ADHD, and how they all position on the autism spectrum. We've examined their intersections, disparities, and the distinctive experiences of teenagers and adults living with these conditions. Always bear in mind, every individual is unique, and grasping neurodiversity enables us to appreciate this splendor. Thank you for accompanying us on this exploration. We'd love to hear from you. Share your thoughts, experiences, or questions in the comment section below. For more insight into neurodevelopmental conditions, check out the links provided. They're a treasure trove of information waiting to be discovered. If you found this content enlightening, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. We have a lot more to explore together. Thank you for joining us on this journey of understanding and acceptance. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep celebrating neurodiversity.